Keep your eye on 12. The big switch is coming. Remember, keep your eye on 12. On Monday, June the 3rd, we don't want you to get lost in the shuffle.
Folks, do yourself a favor. Run, don't walk to the nearest TV.
Soon you'll find us all on 12.
We're on our way.
See you there.
Channel 12.
Soon you'll see all your CBS shows right here.
Now CBS is on Channel 12.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Braun.
I'm Kit Andrews. We're here to tell you about some exciting changes for Channel 12.
In a very short time, June 3rd to be exact, you'll be seeing some new programs on WKRC as we welcome an affiliation with CBS. So keep your eye on 12. In the next half hour, we'll give you some insight into why the change is happening. We'll answer some of the questions you may have about the switch from ABC to CBS, and we'll take you behind the scenes at the CBS Evening News. You'll meet CBS News veteran Dan Rather, and you'll catch up with Channel 12 alumnus Edie Magnus, who's now part of the CBS family. First, though, the reasons behind our change of network affiliation.
You've probably seen clips from the movie Twister. The tornadoes are kind of a visual metaphor for what's going on with TV stations across the country in cities large and small. Winds of network change have already blown into the cities you see on your screen right now. And this is just scratching the surface. Stations in 50 cities have changed affiliation in the past 2 years, moving from ABC to CBS, from CBS to Fox, from NBC to CBS, and so on. All this alphabet soup spells business. In some cities, as many as 4 stations have welcomed new affiliations while searching for more lucrative partnerships. Here in Cincinnati, the change is pretty simple. Channel 12, owned by CityCasters, becomes a CBS affiliate. Channel 9, owned by Scripps Howard, becomes an ABC affiliate. WKRC President and General Manager William Mall elaborates.
Well, the network switch is occurring because the Scripps Howard organization decided that strategically it would be in their best interest to try to have a 6th ABC affiliate in their broadcast group. So they made a deal with ABC to switch networks. We lost the affiliation that way. CBS, happily, which lost the affiliation with Channel 9, came to us and asked if we would be willing to sign on. We thought that was a wonderful solution. We signed a 10-year contract with CBS, and we think we're getting on that horse at a good time.
As simple as the change may seem to us, we know you're bound to have some questions about what this means for the way you watch TV.
So we hit the street to give folks an opportunity to get some answers.
I'm Jim Coop from Independence, Kentucky, and I hate to show my age, but doesn't this reverse something that happened about 30 years ago?
It's a case of deja vu. In 1961, after 12 years with CBS, WKRC left the network and signed on with ABC. Channel 12 remained an ABC affiliate until now.
Our next viewer question is one we get asked quite a bit.
Rob and Kit, will this change where you work? Will you have a new boss?
No, we're not going anywhere, and neither are the folks at Channel 9. We both stay at our respective stations. We keep all our equipment and we keep the same bosses.
On to our next question, this one about programming.
Hi, I'm Paul Kelly at Mr. Tuxedo, the assistant manager. I have one question about CBS switching to Channel 12. Are they going to carry college football this fall?
We'll be giving you a double dose of college football this fall. Channel 12 will air the regular CBS football schedule, as well as a package of Big Ten games. We'll be addressing most of your programming questions throughout the program.
Now here's a question a lot of folks behind the scenes at Channel 12 can relate to.
Hi, I'm Wendy McSwain from Northern Kentucky, and I'm just wondering, how exactly are you going to pull this off?
There is a lot of paperwork and preparation going on at the station, but the biggest part of the switch will be quite simple.
In one sense, it's as easy as pressing a button. Come June 3rd, the engineering staff here at Channel 12 will activate new coordinates for our main satellite dishes. They'll slowly turn away from ABC's satellite and move over to home in on the CBS satellites thousands of miles up in space. It's just like moving the satellite dishes some of you now have at home. The change in affiliation stands to make a few waves for channel surfers. Coming up, a viewer's guide to all the programs you'll see here on Channel 12.
Now, one of the exciting changes for us is a new partnership with CBS News. Still ahead this half hour, we'll catch up with a familiar face. Edie Magnus of CBS News shares her memories of Channel 12 in Cincinnati.
And next, a conversation with Dan Rather. The CBS Evening News anchor talks about what you'll soon be seeing as you keep your eye on 12.
CBS News, the CBS Evening News included, is moving to the strongest station for local and regional coverage in the Cincinnati market.
Meet Dan Rather when Channel 12 welcomes CBS on June 3rd. He'll speak at a noon Chamber of Commerce luncheon at the Hyatt Regency Cincinnati. Call 579-3162 for ticket information.
Twelve is my lucky number.
Soon you'll find us all on 12, the new home of CBS.
When Channel 12 welcomes CBS on June 3rd, Cincinnati will welcome Dan Rather.
He'll broadcast the CBS Evening News from right here in the Queen City. Kit and I recently traveled to New York, where Dan Rather told me he's excited about the changes going on here and at the network. Let's take this from a viewer's point of view. What is it that the viewers in Cincinnati are going to see new on Channel 12 from CBS?
Well, first of all, we're committed to excellence. That is not new. CBS News, in my opinion, is one of the two best brand names for news worldwide. Only the BBC can run with us in terms of a brand name identification. Now, that is not new. What the viewer in Cincinnati is going to see is CBS News, the CBS Evening News included, is moving to the strongest station for local and regional coverage in the Cincinnati market. Now, I think the combination of CBS News' long-standing commitment to excellence, our history, our tradition, and what we did yesterday, today, and will be tomorrow, married to your great local reputation, is going to give a new standard of excellence in Cincinnati.
Much of your strength comes from the fact that you have good, strong, deep people in your organization.
Well, we have the deepest people in television news. We don't have the most people in television news, but we are the deepest in talent. You know, whether you're talking about the Bengals or the Reds or the ballet company or a rock band, what it gets down to is each individual person. What can that person do?
Well, on behalf of those of us at KRC Television in Cincinnati, welcome home.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. I look forward to working with you.
Some moments with Dan Rather at CBS News in New York. Of course, you'll be seeing changes in programming as you keep your eye on 12 all day long.
But a lot of your favorite programs aren't going anywhere. Here's a closer look at our new morning and afternoon lineups. You can start your day the same way you always have with Channel 12. Good Morning Cincinnati begins at 6 a.m. John Lomax, Cammie Durking, and Steve Horsemeyer give you the most comprehensive coverage of the morning's news, traffic, and weather. Then at 7 o'clock, a new generation of CBS News This Morning offers 2 hours of news and information. At 9 o'clock, Geraldo, followed by Maury Povich at 10. And at 11, one of the longest-running game shows on television, The Price is Right.
He has 50 cents in his first spin. He has to beat 75 cents to get into the showcase. Spin that wheel! That 30 would do it. Whoa, baby, you got it. 80 cents.
At noon, get caught up on what's happening at home and around the world. Anchor Dave Burchell and meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer bring you 12 News at noon.
Here's a look at the afternoon lineup from 12:30 until 1:30, The Young and the Restless. It's followed by The Bold and the Beautiful at 1:30, and from 2 to 3, As the World Turns. One of the stars of the show, Martha Byrne, was here for the Cincinnati Flower Show. 12 News anchor Dana Eubanks caught up with the actress who plays Lily.
What does a soap actor have to do every day?
A soap actor has to do every day is get there at 7 a.m. or 2 p.m. We have 2 different shifts, and we rehearse, and we work through the scenes that we have for the day. And we do an hour show a day, so we have very little time to do it. And we have to basically get through the lumps and work them out.
You are following me. No. Now, I realize it must look that way, but
How did you get in here? Who let you in?
Nobody. I live here. You live here? This is my mother's house.
So give us a summary. For those who aren't yet familiar with who Lily is on the show, can you give us a capsulized version of what all Lily's been through and who she is?
Oh, my.
One of those, you know how you do them.
Yes. It would probably take me about a year to tell you what's happened to Lily, but Lily's been married 3 times. She's been in love many more times than that, and she is very wealthy. She has, her love of her life was Holden Snyder, who she was married to, who he has now since had some brain damage and can't remember her. She's been kidnapped more times than I can count by many terrorists and troubled men in her life. So she's had a lot of bad experience with men. I'd have to say her track record has been pretty poor. But she's now independent. She's single, which I think Lily will stay single for a while, and not get married for a long time.
Dana, thanks very much. The CBS soap schedule wraps up at 3 with Guiding Light. Then at 4, it's American Journal, followed by Inside Edition at 4:30. And from 5 through 6:30, the best reason to keep your eye on 12 News. The rest of the 12 News team will be here in the same place at the same times you've always watched us. And as we mentioned earlier, 12 News will be followed by Dan Rather and the CBS Evening News at 6:30.
So keep your eye on 12 as he anchors from Cincinnati on June 3rd. In our next segment, catching up with an old friend.
You know, it buoys me a lot now, remembering when I was there.
Edie Magnus talks about special memories of 12 News and about what's in store for the future.
A reminder, meet Dan Rather when Channel 12 welcomes CBS on June 3rd. He'll speak at a noon Chamber of Commerce luncheon at the Hyatt Regency Cincinnati. Call 579-3162 for ticket information.
Soon you'll find us all on Channel 12.
The new home of CBS.
12.
Welcome back, everybody. When CBS comes to WKRC on June 3rd, it will be a homecoming of sorts for a hometown native.
CBS News reporter Edie Magnus, of course, grew up in Cincinnati. Most of you will remember she's an alumnus of 12 News. Now, while we were in New York, Edie and I had a chance to catch up on old times.
Tell me how your family is. My family's great. I mean, I don't get to, you mean my immediate family or my Cincinnati family?
Both. How often do you get back to Cincinnati?
I get back there once every few months. I haven't been back in a while, but I talk to my mom and my dad every week, all the time.
Yeah. Well, but now you have a son, and they don't get to see him very often.
I know. But you know what we do? Thank God for technology. We take videos of him, regular standard VHS tapes.
Shoot him in the mail?
Shoot him in the mail, pass them around to the whole family in Cincinnati, shoot him back to me, and I add on to it so that, they can have a sense of
what
how
Nick
much
is
he's growing.
doing.
His name is Nick. He's going to be a year old, April 14th.
What do you miss most about Cincinnati? Besides your family, of course.
Let's see, what do I miss most about Cincinnati? My mother, my father, Charringtons, DeFelice. Graders.
Yeah.
And my friends, in no particular order, all of those things. I miss my friends a lot.
We were sitting earlier talking about the old days at Channel 12.
I will try to do this. This is very unfair because I will get emotional about it, but that was a little bit of Camelot for me. I mean, we had a wonderful group of people. All of us were friends, and we were all great reporters, and we loved what we did.
The apartment residents say they believe the problem is here in apartment number 126, which has been vacant for about 15 months now.
The government, they said, must not get involved in TV ratings in any way. Edie Magnus, CBS News, Washington.
Tell me about working at CBS.
I'm honored to be working for this network.
How do you feel about the marriage of your old station with your new network?
It's great. I've always felt like I had divided loyalties because the CBS affiliate was Channel 9 and my first love was Channel 12. And so now we're all one family again, and it's great. It's great.
Keep your eye on 12 for Edie Magnus, who's a regular part of the CBS Evening News.
One of the biggest changes in terms of your viewing habits will come at night after the news. Following the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather, Channel 12 will continue to air Inside Edition and Entertainment Tonight. At 8 o'clock is where the changes begin. On Monday's prime time on Channel 12 kicks off with The Nanny.
I have pulled a major coup.
Oh, well, that will heal itself. But for the next couple of days, sleep on your side and wear boxer shorts.
At 8:30, it's Dave's World.
I'll give you $2 if you'll put it on. No way. How about just a little hat for $1? Okay.
You are wearing that for the money, aren't you?
Yeah.
Then you look pretty.
And at 9 o'clock, Murphy Brown.
Murphy's eating something!
Oh, just look at this. A candy bar wrapper. You had a candy bar.
She had lots of candy bars! Look at this! Now where did you get these?
Following Murphy Brown, it's Sybil at 9:30.
I don't care what Marsha Warfield says. I can play a cop. I'm going to do so much research for this audition that I'll blow him away with how tough and ruthless I am.
Nice bunny slippers.
And then at 10 on Channel 12, it's Chicago Hope.
And my mom always told me to keep this knife beside my bed, so I grabbed the knife and it's all right. I stabbed him. If I had to do it over, I would stab him again.
Could you give her a minute?
Just a few more questions.
Just one lousy minute.
Tuesday and Wednesday, keep your eye on 12 for the CBS Evening movie. On Thursday night, starting at 8 o'clock, it's Murder, She Wrote, Rescue 911, and 48 Hours from CBS News.
Friday nights begin with Due South at 8 o'clock. It's followed by Diagnosis Murder. And at 10, Don Johnson is Nash Bridges.
Hello, Flo. Step into my office.
Hey, what'd I do?
Let's see here. Same place as before. Oh, honey, you simply got to find a better place to hide this.
Don't forget this, Nick. You check her for performance-enhancing drugs.
You gonna be all right there, Bubba? So how you been, Flo?
I was just getting loose.
Easy, baby. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Give me a hug.
I can't hug you and arrest you at the same time.
The biggest thing that will not change when we become CBS is the way you watch the 11 o'clock news.
Just like always, Rob and I will bring you 11 minutes of nonstop news on 12 News tonight. Meteorologist Tim Hedrick will be here with No Wait Weather. And you'll continue to get the news coverage you've come to count on over the years.
Every night at 11:35 after 12 News, somebody new will be dropping in.
It's our big melon finale. Oh. Yes, sir. Wow. This man, ladies and gentlemen, swallows ring-dings whole.
The Late Show with David Letterman airs Monday through Friday after 12 News tonight. Dave seems ready for the move.
You know, we're all very excited about the big move. Oh, geez, my lower back is killing me. Why are we moving? We lost our lease! Ladies and gentlemen, if I can be serious with you for a moment, this move represents the pinnacle of my 75 years in show business.
The Late Show with David Letterman begins every night at 11:35. Here's a look at the rest of the late night schedule.
There's a lot in store as we enter summertime. Coming up, a look ahead to 12 on Tour.
Also ahead, this familiar sound. We'll go behind the scenes of the definitive news magazine, 60 Minutes.
We're on our way. Follow us to 12. 12.
You're on 12, the new home of CBS.
You just got to look at the Channel 12 weekend lineup, and you probably noticed one of your favorite programs, 60 Minutes.
It's been a part of American viewing for nearly 30 years. The 60 Minutes correspondents say your demand for excellent storytelling is what makes them tick.
The purpose of being on the air is to engage people's interests, their minds, and occasionally even their imaginations. So it is extremely pleasing to know, particularly, not just someone says, "Hi, Morley. Hi, Morley. Tell me more about that guy. Tell me more about that story." And that's the most satisfying part of it.
That's all, as far as the audience is concerned. That's such. When Mary, my wife, and I walk down the street, and she gets a kick out of it because it's, "Hey, keep doing it. Good going, Mike."
Well, the one I'm proudest of, we got a young black guy named Linnell Jeter, who was an engineer who worked for E-Systems in Texas and was spending the rest of his life in jail for a robbery he never committed.
Linnell Jeter is a young black engineer, one of 6 graduates of South Carolina State College who were recruited by E-Systems, a major defense contractor in Greenville, Texas, a small town outside of Dallas. When he arrived there in 1982 from rural South Carolina, his future seemed secure. A clean-cut 24-year-old earning $24,000 a year as an engineer and planning to get married. 6 months later, he was arrested for the $615 armed robbery of a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant, convicted and sentenced to life in prison. They told the jury that Jeter was an outlaw, known to the police, a hardened criminal beyond rehabilitation. In fact, there is not a shred of evidence that Jeter had any police record anywhere.
I've received no justice at all. I haven't received anything close to justice. I consider myself a hostage.
I think what makes it a memorable story for all of us who worked on the broadcast was that we changed a life in the most important, positive, radical way. A life could be changed. A life of imprisonment to a life.
60 Minutes will air every Sunday night at 7 o'clock right here on Channel 12.
There are some big reasons to keep your eye on 12 throughout the summer. 12 News is back on the road again. You may remember our 12 on Tour reports from last year. We traveled to 4 corners of the tri-state, featuring the people and places that make each community unique. Well, this summer, Rob and I will be taking you to new locations. Thanks for taking time to learn more about the upcoming changes at WKRC. Now, don't forget, we welcome CBS on June 3rd.
It's an exciting time for us, so keep your eye on 12. We'll see you soon.